at least for you, you had enough self-awareness and you're being honest with yourself to realize this isn't working. Most of these Bandcamp bros, they realize it's not working. They don't want to, change anything. They don't want to retract a statement. They don't want to deviate because they're stubborn. And they would hate to have to go back and tell their 12 fans that they have when they said, Spotify bad, big corporation bad, go to Bandcamp. And now go, Bandcamp sucks. We bought into a lie. Now go check out our music on Spotify. They won't do that. So what they'll do is they'll keep doubling down on they'll keep doubling down on Bandcamp, knowing nobody's going there, knowing they sell one CD and they act like they sold, 1 million because they're so desperate for anything, when if they would apply it right, build relationships, do what they need to do on Spotify, on Apple Music, they would have so many more fans. But once again, they're focused on the puddle when the internet is the entire world. When Apple Music and Spotify, that's the entire ocean, but they're focused on this puddle. And so how many people can you fit in a puddle versus the ocean? And that's the problem. So this isn't an industry narrative. This is probably people on Reddit or X, Twitter, whatever, trashing Spotify because they want to get paid more. And so you bought into it because, if you want to succeed in anything, it does take time. It takes patience. It takes smarts. You have to outsmart people. You can't just sit there and rail against the Spotify right now is ingrained in our psyche as people for music. No, it's not. I don't listen to Spotify. Okay, well, congratulations. You're the one guy, okay? You're probably also the dude who 30 years ago graduated high school and you're still hanging out in the high school parking lot, wearing your Letterman's jacket. But everybody else, is it ingrained in our minds? My 10-year-old son goes to Apple Music to listen to his music. My 12-year-old goes to Spotify. Okay, we got both accounts. They are never going to get off of that. They're never going to think that it's sexy and cool to go get a cassette tape or to go to Bandcamp, buy a whole album. Because see, here's the thing. When albums were being sold, when we were selling albums, that was because we knew we had to do our best. When I was in A&R, when albums were the thing, you have 12 songs, you're hoping for 9 of them to impress the fans. Well, everything has changed now. Now we're living in a single world. We got to do one song at a time. We put this song out. We might put another one out in 70 days or 90 days or whatever. So when you put a whole album out these days and people are actually paying money for that full album, the price of their Spotify subscription for the month, it needs to be outstanding. And the truth is, most of you Bandcamp bros, it's not. You might have a song good. You might have a good song here, good song there, but it's not a masterpiece. So you're losing fans. And you can only burn fans so many times with them paying $15, $20 for your music and it's subpar. Because you're probably against producers or, editing or whatever, because, you got to be a purist and be on Bandcamp and sell cassettes or vinyl. Well, my friend, I am sorry you're going through this. It's better now that you realize this than 10 years from now.